Hey there, I'm Meredith, and I am an intuitive and an astrologer based out of the mountains of North Carolina. And I wanted to talk about sources of energy today and the different places that if you are feeling drained or if you are feeling depleted, as I know is very common to feel right now. I mean, we have to consider that we are pretty much being bombarded with all different types of frequencies. So, if you consider what plasma does to a cell, it like splits it in two, right? So, in a sense, like we're being bombarded with plasma through whatever is going on with the sun. And I think that also, there's other types of like maybe like less quote natural frequencies that are also going on right now. And so the experience of being a person is a lot right now. And I think it's okay to air that out. I think that a lot of people are having memories come up that I've observed. A lot of people are having dreams that are really wild. And I just want to take a second to normalize being a human in this all. And oops, like kind of trying to hold my microphone. Okay, let's see. All right. So I feel that it's important for people to be able to fill up their cup quickly if they need to. So if you think about, there's three main sources of energy that I'd like to talk about today. Obviously, the first is earth energy. When you have enough earth energy in your body, you feel grounded, you actually feel energized, but you don't feel overwhelmed or overexcited. And, it's just like a very nurturing, loving energy. I mean, it's free and available to everyone. And I think that, you know, we sometimes develop like attachments to people in the form of energy cords or energy hooks or whatever. We can develop attachments like that to objects and to, animals and to entities, even. And, I think that we become parasitic when we're not like getting energy in the right way. And I also, think that, I mean, this definitely is a very parasitic place. I mean, we have to be honest with ourselves. Why does everybody have parasites in their, intestinal tract? And what's the deal with that? So, um, I think that the whole like idea of us being depleted by a parasitic energy and then us actually having to take energy then from each other is actually very common. I don't think that human beings were meant to necessarily like sit in a cubicle from 9 to 5, or I don't think that human beings were meant to like struggle in the way that we have known struggle in the last several thousand years. I just, I'm of the belief that there was a fall. Um, and I think that by virtue of being where we are, it's like we all have like, I mean, I have even attachments to people right now. I can tell you right now, I have attachments to people because, I haven't transcended the third dimension, unfortunately. But I still try to be conscious of those attachments and to look at my engagement, my energetic engagement with some of these attachments, right? I mean, it's not a perfect practice, but it does, it is helpful. So, if we don't have enough energy and enough earth energy and the other two types of energy that I'm going to talk about, we are not going to like be able to sustain our life. Like sickness begins at a certain vibration. And if we like allow ourselves to continually deplete, then we will, become sick and, whatever. So it's just, I think it's important to have an awareness of your fuel levels. Food is not the only thing that we consume. Everything is energy, right? Um, so, you can bring earth energy up through your feet and just imagine it just like filling up your whole entire body. And obviously that's like a two-way street. Like I brought up in the grounding portion of this that that's a relationship. The earth, yeah, we are in relationship. We are that in a sense, the way that we personally treat that and regard that is how we see ourselves. So um I think that her energy can be very healing and purifying and nurturing. It's like the ultimate mother. So everybody, out here at this point in time has like mother issues. You know, I would say that I probably got off pretty good in that department. And, still I think that the concept of unconditional mother's love um is not very common, right? So, the earth, I feel like for me is that always because I can talk to her and I do. And I mean, especially like in the last, like maybe like the last like 9 months, that conversation is constant. So, um, and it provides me with like a balance that I don't think I would have because of my natural constitution to be a walking head. So, yeah. And then also another form of energy that, I was going to remind you of is the energy centers in our body. We are divine. So we have, these energy centers that spin or they don't, if you're sometimes, hey, we all get blocked every now and again, but consciously engaging with some of these centers, especially the center in your heart, is really good for just kind of accessing your own sense of like divine warmth, like especially in the heart. That's probably one of my favorite places to do this type of meditation or visualization is I will just generate a golden emanation or some it's like a flame in the center of my chest, and um it's my own energy because I am a part of the divine just like you. So we have within us our own like sort of reserves that we aren't really taught about. So I just kind of like I sit with that energy sometimes for a few minutes and I allow it to build. And I run it throughout my field and do some other stuff. But, I think that it's pretty cool, that we have a whole energy field and a whole energetic constitution and that is very unique to us, right? And that is divine. So always, filling up on your own supply, really like allowing that energy to really like course through your body and the area around your body, which also helps to purify things that you don't want there, or it helps to knock loose some compartments so that you can, release whatever's in them. And um, yeah, I think that also with visualization and belief, you just have to, it's like if you really feel it and if you really believe it and if you really see it, it is happening. Like if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. And I think that as time goes on, it will be more and more like that. So in terms of instant manifestation, which is why it's really good to clean out. And I think that's why I'm doing this series. So anyway, um, so then, also like the other type of energy is what some people like to call God or the great organizing force. It's I don't know, you know, when I like tap into God, it is like hard for me to like describe what that is. I probably could if I really like efforted in that direction, but to me it's like the source of which everything came. I think the way that humans naturally reproduce is probably like a nice euphemism for um you know like what happened and how we all got here and how we all became, an individual, which is just an insane feat of nature to think about. And so, you know, to connect with like the source from which we all came is another really good way to just fill up on just kind of like universal cosmic energy. And I think that those three like forms of energy working together, that are like running through and coursing through your field, like a healthy energy field is sometimes it's moving, it's like a living thing. It's not stagnant. So, I think that there's so many different ways that you can use or you can access those different forms of energy, and they're all free and they don't require and they feel good just naturally, and they're available to everyone. So, um, yeah, I'm probably going to make a part two to this video where I discuss like different forms of conscious or unconscious channeling, and maybe I'll get deeper into sort of like the aspects that we can gain, like where we can gain energy from that is maybe not very becoming, for us to do that. And what kind of conditions that can create in the body and in the psyche and in the soul, maybe how to release those, at least. I operate on the principle that as above, so below. If you see it, and if you see something clearing, if you see something moving, if you if you close your eyes and say you see something in your house, and you like, basically like make a big hand in your imagination and like you pick this thing up, right? Whatever it is. And you just like toss it outside into you know, a purple fire, and then whatever, that thing that tried to invade your space is now disintegrated and it basically doesn't exist. I don't know. So, if you can see it, like, and if you can have fun with it, when it comes to doing energy work on yourself and engaging a little bit more with your aura, and maybe with the etheric aspects of nature, then like, kind of like looking at a plant for a long time and kind of like seeing, okay, is this you can kind of see if you can see the etheric outline of the plant, or if you can catch a glimpse at just the energy of it, right? And if you can then exchange energy with it, that was one of the first books that I read. I guess it was several years ago now, when I kind of hopped onto this path, is called The Celestine Prophecy. And they discuss a lot like exchanging energy with plants and trees and things like that, in a moment where you have to maybe change your energy so that you know oh my gosh, I have a mosquito that's like in my shit right now. Did I get it? I'm gonna get it. Maybe I'll edit that, maybe I won't, I don't know. But I don't even remember what I was talking about. So I'll make a part 2 on this. And yeah, thank you for listening. Take care. Bye.